Good morning, everyone. Looks like we're going to have another great day at Story Trading. I'm really excited. Got some great focus picks to talk about. And we have a special guest. Vegas going to be here at the end of the show with their pick of the day. First, we'll do our macro review. And you can see here, we always start with that SPY cues. Apple and Tesla supporting that view that they're down today. You can see ARK is down. Bitcoin's slightly up. So as I've been saying for the last couple weeks or so, I do have possibly a bearish macro view, but I'm not doing anything about it. I'm completely long, and I'm not going to be a hero, not going to fight the trend, not fighting the technicals. There are theses for why the bottom might be in. So I'm not going to take any chances. I'm long unless we get my trigger is the recession data. Now, why is it down? It could be maybe just a technical correction. It could be the North Korea, South Korea saber rattling going on. But look at this. You'll notice, with the exception of Bitcoin, which we track as a risk asset, and a lot of people who track Bitcoin here as a risk asset often use that as a precursor. They're like, that's a little bit like a day ahead of markets. I don't know if that's true, but we're tracking that. But take a look at this. Our new fangs, right? What is that again? Fuels, agriculture, aerospace, they're all up, okay? Especially, wow, natural gas. We're going to talk about that in a second in regards to KMI. Look at this, breaking out, gapping higher, XLE up 0.4%. You can see uranium stocks, CCJ, going to probably be a good day, up 2%. Wheat up 4%. Maybe some of those agriculture stocks are going to be in play. You can see DBA Agriculture Fund up 1%. And we have Deere and Archer Daniels up, Mosaic up 2%. So that gives you an idea of what sectors may do good today. Definitely, probably those energy stocks and agriculture stocks are going to have a good day. Okay, now let's switch to specific stocks. Man, I'm so excited about this. Twitter. I bought Twitter this morning. So yesterday we talked about the move to 52, which was the 200 DMA right over there, and I was like, hey, this is going there. All right. I ended up not playing it yesterday, but I did buy it at 7:05 this morning at $50.60, and you can see now it's 53.73. Let me actually just switch screens because I'm going to show you something over here. Let's do this. Share my screen. I got to share another screen. Okay. We're going to share this screen. All right. And it's flashing. Oh, there we go. Okay. And here, right here, is why I decided to buy in pre-market. This tweet, very important, very impactful. Elon Musk goes out there, as you know, it was a passive stake that he took at 9.4 or 9.2%. He goes out there, puts a poll. Do you want an edit button, which got like, millions of engagements. And then the CEO of Twitter retweets it and says the consequences of this poll will be important. Please vote carefully. Right then, I'm like, I am buying this stock. This is going to be, if it's not going to be a meme stock, it's going to have a very high sentiment premium because now it shows that Elon Musk is not just passive, but he's essentially running the company. And there's a huge Elon Musk premium for anything he's involved in. So my bet was that it would break that resistance that I just talked about. So let's go over to, again, our, where is it? Let's go over to our watch list over here again. So that's what I talked about. When I saw that tweet last night, I was like, it is going to break that 52, right? It's going to break that 52. Let me be aggressive here in pre-market, $50.60. And hey, what do you know? That assessment of that tweet ended up being so accurate that Twitter board of directors put him on the board this morning. And that's why you saw this huge spike here at around 8:30. And this thing is off to the races. This is for my long-term IRA at this point, by the way, and I may be adding more on the dips. Now, what's that mean for DWAC and CFVI? I've been talking about it. Let's make sure there's no mistake in my assessment here. I've never been bullish DWAC, except I traded it like 1 or 2 times for like 1 or 2 days at a time. I've been warning people to stay away. And at this point, look at it. This thing is diving. Let me tell you a little bit about the sentiment. As I'm tracking social media, there have been a huge amount of tweets, people coming out of the woodwork saying, "Hey, bring Donald Trump back," right? And those tweets are getting tons of engagements, thousands, sometimes tens of thousands. And if it's not that, it's people cheering about no censorship and free speech. And that was the whole bullish case for DWAC. So now with Elon Musk at the helm of DWAC, of Twitter, I think DWAC is done. Now, could I have short squeezes still? I don't know. I'm not playing it, of course. I think this thing can go back to $10. And but what's that mean for CFVI? I think people tried to group them in together yesterday. I think you can't do that. CFVI is a fast-growing company, which you can make an argument that it's fundamentally fair valued or even undervalued here. As I said yesterday, there could be a little bit of a sentiment hit a little bit yesterday, and we saw that, but it did rebound. I'm hoping we'll have record March metrics announced this week. But to be honest with you, I'm actually thinking I did buy some Twitter this morning at, as I said, $50.60 with some cash I had available. But I'm actually thinking of rotating some of my CFVI into Twitter because that money is meant for the free speech play. That's what that money is for. That's what that investment is for. So it only makes sense to diversify a little bit and move some of that Rumble money into Twitter. I haven't done it yet. I'm thinking about it. We'll see how it goes. But look at Twitter morning at 7:05 a.m. Now, other stocks I want to bring to your attention. TFFP, a story trading VIP pick presented by Dan Carlson of TW Research. You can go to YouTube, storytrading.com/YouTube to see the videos on TFFP. This had some huge insider buys last night. It's gapping up this morning. I mentioned last night in the chat rooms that the immediate target here is 763 or 764 at the 200 DMA. Now, I actually put some money to work this morning between 735 and 740 because I think there's a chance at 930 this thing is going to gap and run. Gap above the 200 DMA and run to like $9 or $10 in a short period of time. Now, that may not happen, which is why I only put a little bit of money to work. And I'm going to consider it a blessing if we open below the 200 DMA, if it tries to fill the gap, which it may, right? It may try to come back here before bouncing back or hit this support at 716 or this open here at 728. It may do that before running and challenging the 200 DMA, which is why I left some capital available to put to work to buy more TFFP. But I'm very excited about this. I think this is an inflection point for the company. People have been waiting for them to do lots of deals. This is for the inhaled. It's a biotech company doing like inhaled drugs, doing some for COVID, but also other disease states. And I think that this insider buy could be marking an inflection point in the stock. And if we don't break the 200 DMA today or tomorrow, I think we will soon. So I'm very excited, very bullish about TFFP. This is one of the few stocks I held onto through the risk asset sell-off that started in early November. We have more news. SMSI software reports $7 million revolving credit facility this morning. Now, that's really important because I heard some chatter from some people that they were a little bit worried with their balance sheet and that they may have to raise money. This is huge. This is a huge de-risking that's happening with the stock. And no longer do we have to worry about any kind of imminent financing. And potentially, I think SMSI could have a great day. I already have a nice position. Probably not going to jump on too much more here. Depends how the day goes. But I think at this point, you have a lot of like churn and resistance you got to get through in the low fours. But I think that may happen. Not necessarily today, but I think we are now on track to, let's check the resistance levels. 450. Yeah, 450 is a huge resistance level. I know it's before the 200 DMA, but I guess 450, 448, 444, 448, somewhere around 450. Let's round it up to a whole number. I think that the stock may be in the all clear with this news this morning to make a move towards 450. So very excited about SMSI. Man, KMI. This is I have a huge speculative bet on this in May calls in my IRA, which have been going real nice. In my trading account, I've been much more risky. I've been telling you guys, don't copy me. I've been doing weekly calls and getting smashed. So I still have a huge weekly call position in KMI. better to go out at least 2 or 3 months. But man, the news, the UNG this morning gapping up over 4%. Now, KMI is not a natural gas producer. Primarily, they're not. They do have a natural gas producing business in Kinetrix, which is a small part of their market cap. Their midstream natural gas pipelines, but natural gas pipelines are getting a boost in terms of deregulation out of DC and possibly more pipelines come in, more opportunities for KMI. So KMI new 52-week high yesterday. And with this huge move in natural gas, I hope we're going to be able to make a quick move to 20 plus. That's what I'm playing for this week. But don't play with me. If you're in this, think longer term. Be a little more conservative. Do what I do in my IRA, either common shares or longer term in the money call options, not the short term out of the money call options, which is gambling. I like to gamble a little bit. So that's what I got going on KMI. And you can see XLA is up 0.22% as well. So pretty excited about what KMI might do. Of course, we got Kodak on watch. You guys all know the story. We got a robust due diligence effort going on in the Kodak research group. And I think it's just a matter of time. We're going to have to see. So holding tight there right now. CSSE, I've been talking about this for a few days since Rex brought it up. It looked like great earnings. I love the chart, broke the 50 DMA. And I've been saying that the next two resistance levels is $14 and $20. This thing trades so thinly, unbelievable. It trades like there's like less than 1 million shares float, and it might be because there's 15 million shares outstanding. There was a Seeking Alpha article out this morning from Courage and Conviction, which you may want to take a look at that. That may be the additional spark needed, although I don't think it really needed a spark to take this to 14 and then possibly 20. But buyer beware, do your own research. It's moved up a lot already, but I do have a position in that. VWTR, this is our Sunday night VIP pick by Mark Gomes. Look at that beautiful little cup and handle. As I said yesterday, I held my nose and I bought it because why did I hold my nose? This high RSI. But the fundamental story is there. Mark knows his stuff, so I had to hold my nose and buy some. When you go to the monthly chart, though, the RSI does not look as bad. Let's go to frequency monthly. Okay, and right here it's 67, and you can see it's like a kind of a deep cup and handle. It's trying to form over here. So I could see this definitely making a move several dollars higher. All right, I want to talk quickly about what time is it? 9:13. We'll see if Vegas pops on in a minute or so, but I want to talk about Starbucks. So, we always say there's a reason behind all the price action at story trading, and that's even true for mega caps. In fact, it seems to be much easier to understand mega caps than microcaps in terms of its movements. So let's go back and review the story here. This movement over here was Howard Schultz. It was actually a few days before this, maybe here. Howard Schultz being appointed back as at least interim CEO. We took that catalyst, and when it broke the 20 DMA, we bought right here. We played it to the 50. Personally, I misplayed it a little bit after that. I got a little greedy. I'm like, maybe it can break the 50 DMA. Did not. And then why did it drop? It dropped yesterday because on his first day back on the job, Howard Schultz said, no more share buybacks. We want to invest in the reimagination of the company, which obviously got a bunch of investors to flee. But as I predicted yesterday, I said this may be something that you can catch the bottom on, and it's going to reverse because you're going to see a different type of buyer coming in, more of a sentiment buyer, thinking long term in terms of investing in the future of the company. I still think this is the prevalent theme here that's going to be moving the stock. Why are we down this morning? Because they got a downgrade from a firm. Which one was it? Wedbush downgraded to neutral from outperform, cuts price target from 105 to 91. That's why we're down this morning. It's trying to hold the 20 DMA. So I'm actually not playing this right now. Okay. But I think this could be, if you wanted to play this, it could be. It's a little bit scary, possibly a little bit risky here at the 20 DMA. It may need the market to cooperate. But I just think in terms of sentiment, management changes are one of the most powerful things that move stocks, much more important than current financials. Let me just check if we have Vegas coming in. All right. So maybe her first time trying to get in. So, all right, let me just cover one more thing. If she doesn't make it today, we'll make sure to get her in later. Okay, there's two more stocks I want to cover. GEVO, I'm still in. This is originally one of the stocks that Rex was looking at that I wasn't interested until there was news. That news was the Delta Airlines contract, which looks huge, but there are some shenanigans here. Fundamentally, I'm not so sound and secure with this company. It's just a trade for me to the 200 DMA at 550. Okay, this morning there was some news. I don't think it was material news, but pre-market is pushing it up. Vegas will be joining us in just 1 second. So pre-market's pushing it up on this, I think, non-material news, but it may just be the catalyst it needs to hit 550. I'm probably selling my position at 550, although there's a chance it breaks and keeps flying after that. The last thing I want to mention, ARTW, I mentioned they had earnings. I mentioned this could be a buy at the 50 DMA. Lots of volatility this morning from 450 all the way to 530, with wheat up so much this morning, and all of those new fangs up this morning. ARTW or other agriculture names could be a play. I'm currently not in this one either. So with that, I'm going to bring on Vegas.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Vegas. How you doing? Welcome to our pre-market prep show. Man, a lot of exciting.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know what I've been talking about, but we did cover Twitter a lot. I'm excited to hear. Hopefully, we'll have you on often, but I'm excited to hear about one pick for us. Your trade of the day.
So, yeah. So sorry, I missed your preempt opening because I was just chatting with my group here as well. So which ones did you cover?
Extensively, obviously, and KMI as far as the big ones that you might know. Then we covered a bunch of smaller ones.
Okay. So some ones to watch today that I'm definitely watching. Obviously we know the Twitter has been active because of Elon Musk's stake and also the fact that he's now on the board. So some traders could be watching $55 option calls. If it breaks, obviously 55. So people might be using that for a day trade. And the other one to watch, speaking of Elon Musk, is I am still watching Tesla. I currently have an active position in 1,400 calls. Those are actually pretty cheap. Those are weeklies. But I am looking for this to break 1142.50 for a continuation towards maybe 1166, 1170 on Tesla. And the last one, just really to mention, that's had a lot of activity is NIO. So NIO I've talked about on previous story trading events, but I do want to mention NIO obviously had very good numbers recently on some deliveries, and one to watch. There's been a lot of money flow coming in on NIO and a lot of strength coming in on NIO. So if you are thinking to day trade NIO, you would need for this to break 24.50 and looking for this to go towards $26. I think NIO is actually a really great swing trade. I find sometimes to day trade NIO can be tough because it can be volatile where it pops, drops, pops, and drops. So I think the best setup, in my opinion, would be that if NIO can break 24.50, even here at 24, I'm actually comfortable taking a swing trade on NIO for April 14. Those closed around 114 yesterday. So that could be a great trading opportunity there for NIO for those of you that like the electric vehicle sector. So those are the ones that are on my hot watch list for today.
So if I had to push you in a corner and make you pick one, what's your number one conviction play for today?
You know what? I'm going to say NIO because I think Twitter's already had like a big gap up, very volatile. So, that could also have a flush. There's been a lot of activity on Twitter, a lot of hype. Tesla's had already a pretty big move, but still Tesla has so much power. So I don't know. I say between Tesla and NIO, pretty tough. I say those are my top two.
Okay. Awesome.
But Tesla has to break that 1142.50 today for the action to still continue.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Vegas.
Thank you.
We'll see you back soon. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye. All right, guys. That's our show, except for Igal to say hello from his car. How you doing, Igal?
What's up, guys? How are you?
Doing excellent, man. I bought Twitter at $50.60 this morning. I couldn't be happier. $54 now.
Oh, amazing. I wanted to put an order last night and then I forgot about it. It's up another 10%?
9% right now.
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah,
Good job.
absolutely amazing. We're gonna have a kick-ass day today, man. I think TFFP is gonna run, SMSI is gonna run, KMI is gonna run. Hopefully KODK is gonna run, CSSE is gonna run. We got a hot freaking watch list.
What was the second one you said? TFFP?
Yeah, they had an insider buy, big insider buy last night. 340,000
amazing.
shares. Two separate buys.
Amazing. I have some of that also.
Yeah. I picked some up at pre-market this morning. I may do some in regular hours as well.
Amazing. Okay, great job.
All right. Have a great day, man.
Thanks, guys. Bye. Have a great day.
We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.